Yes. Okay, well, as I said before, welcome back again. Today we have an interesting lesson. It's a conversation class. Where is my presentation? My presentation is here. And yes, let me share my screen. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
I don't know, my laptop is charging. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my laptop is not charging. I don't know what's going on here. Now it's charging. Okay, you can see my presentation, right? Well, today we
Yes.
are going to learn 45 advanced phrases for confident conversations, okay? Apart from learning vocabulary, you will learn when you can use them with context. This lesson is perfect for higher levels English learners who wants to improve their conversation skills. I'm going to be sharing the exact phrase and expressions that you need to help you when you get a little stuck in English conversations, like when you feel a little nervous or in those times when the conversation is a bit difficult to follow. Or when someone misunderstands you or where someone asks you a question or is talking about a topic that you want to avoid. First, are there any words here that you don't know? No questions?
A little, a little,
A little,
stuck.
a little stuck. For example, imagine that you're driving a car. You are driving a car, yeah? And there is a lot of traffic. You are stuck.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
when you speak, you can also get stuck because you don't know what to say. Oh, I don't know what can I say here. So I'm stuck or I got a little stuck. You see? Estancado.
Okay.
Okay. Another word?
Misunderstand sería no te entiende.
Yeah, miss, for example, when I don't understand something, for example, okay, Gabby, 1 plus 1 is equals 3. 1 plus 1. Okay? But this is not the answer, Gabby. But now you misunderstood. 1 plus 1, 3. You see? Entender mal. Misunderstand. Misunderstood, que entendió mal. Another word?
No.
Yes, we are learning vocabulary. So, Gabby, when you feel nervous, let's agree that speaking in front of people or meeting a group of people just for the first time can make you feel a little nervous, can it? Sometimes it's hard to think of just the word to say, let alone the expression that you need to get yourself out of trouble. Are there any words here? What does let's agree mean? Let's agree.
No sé. Vamos a estar de acuerdo.
Incorrect. Let me share here. Okay, remember that in English we have the expression let's plus a verb, and it means the verb plus amos o hemos. Tenemos la estructura let's más un verbo, que vendría a ser un verbo en español más amos y hemos. Por ejemplo, let's eat significa comer. Comer más amos y hemos, ¿qué diría? Coma. Comamos. Let's sleep. Durma. Durmamos. Let's go. Vamos. Okay. Ahora, agree. For example, I agree. I agree with you. ¿Qué significa I agree with you?
Estoy de acuerdo contigo.
Estoy de acuerdo contigo. No necesitamos el verbo to be, but let's agree. Pongámonos pongámonos de acuerdo o acordemos. Entonces, tenemos aquí, let's all agree. Todos estemos de acuerdo en que. Let's agree that. Let's all agree that. Estemos de acuerdo en que. Let's all agree that. Okay? So let's all agree that speaking in front of people, in front of people, or meeting a group of people for the first time can make you feel a little nervous. Can it? No. Sometimes it's hard enough to think just the words to say, let alone the expression that you need to get yourself out of trouble. Any questions? You can ask me and I can explain if you need.
No.
Okay. So have you ever been in a situation where you just felt frozen? I mean, someone asked you a question and you don't know what to say. Have you ever been in a situation like this?
Yes.
Or this never happened to you?
No. Yes.
You have, right?
Ah.
Do you remember when?
Uh,
Maybe in Spanish or English, of course. Even in Spanish, sometimes
English.
it's difficult. When?
Yes.
When it was?
In my English conversation.
And your English converse sometimes. Yeah, sometimes that happened to you. You can say sometimes that happened to me. Something happened to you. So memorizing some of the expression from this lesson today will definitely help. And my first piece of advice is just to be honest. Say, I'm a little nervous. For example, Gabby, what's your opinion or what do you think about this topic? What do you think about the politics? What do you think about the economy? And you don't know, right? So you can say, well, I'm a little nervous. You can say it with a little grin of make a joke out of it, like, or you can say it sincerely just to let the people know who you're talking to and maybe you need a little bit of extra support. And there is nothing wrong with that all. It happens much more often than you think. Okay, so when someone asks a question, Gabby, and you don't know what to say, be honest. Well, I'm a little nervous and I don't know the answer. Um, let me Google it maybe. So for example, what do you think about the iPhone 28? The iPhone 28? But you have to speak, of course, but you don't know. Well, I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous. Maybe you know the answer, but you don't know how to express your idea. You see? Okay, I'm a little nervous. Of course, this is like pretty common, okay? It happens much more often than you think. Another expression that you can use is like, hey, please bear with me. If you are speaking in front of a group of people and maybe you are feeling a little anxious about it, meaning anxious about it, you can definitely use this phrase to ask people to be patient with just to buy yourself a little bit more time. For example, you want someone ask you a question, right? Someone ask a question and you can understand because maybe this person is speaking fast. This person is speaking fast. You can, oh, please, and bear with me. It is like be patient. You see, I'm not a native speaker, so bear with me. In Spanish, it could be like, compréndeme, ten un poquito de paciencia. Okay, it's like bear with me. It's not pretty common phrase that we use in English. Okay, or when you don't understand something, when you don't, for example, Gabby, please, we use the present simple when we want to talk about routines, but you don't understand because it's difficult, right? So you say, Carlos, bear with me. Can you explain that again? You see, bear with me. Compréndeme. Okay. The first one is I am a little bit nervous or I'm a little nervous. Don't forget those expressions. Bear with
Okay.
me. Another, like, give me a moment. Another similar expression is give me a moment. Or let me try that again. Let me try that again. It's a really great one if you need to stop and think about your sentence for a minute and maybe rephrase it. Maybe your sentence came out a little wrong, or you just realize you're speaking so fast. You need to take a breath and say the phrase, smile and try it again. For example, imagine that you are in an interview, because you will apply a job in English, right? And this person's like, okay, please tell me a little bit about yourself. But you are nervous because this is your interview in English. You can say, well, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. Please bear with me and give me a moment. You see?
Sí.
Yeah, you can, and this person, oh, don't worry. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, and then you can remember, and then you can think about your answers or make time. You can make yourself time. Or when I ask you a question, hey, Gabby, if you won the lottery, what would you buy? Well, I don't remember the grammar. Please give me a moment. And it's just a short expression that it helps you a lot. You see? Give me a moment.
Okay.
Or give me a sec. Give me a sec is like, dame un segundo, but it doesn't mean 1 second. It means like a short period of time. And this is another expression that we always use in English, like, I'm not sure about that actually, but I can find out. It can be really nerve-wracking when someone asks you a question that you don't know the answer to, especially if it's in a professional context. You might just freeze and have no idea what to say. For example, imagine that you are working, Gabby. Maybe.
¿Qué dice?
Can you hear me?
Ay, yeah.
Now you can, I think, right?
No.
Well, imagine that you are my coworker, and you are my supervisor, of course. Gabby, do you know how I can use the cell phone? And well, this person speaks, she's a native speaker, or I am a native speaker. So Gabby, I have a question. Do you know how can I use the cell phone? And you don't understand maybe, right? And you can say, well, you don't know the answer. You're my supervisor, but you don't know how to use the cell phone, right? Yeah, you understand, but you don't know what to say because you don't know what this is new for. I'm your supervisor, but I don't know how to use a cell phone. You don't say, well, I don't know. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. You say, oh, I'm not sure about that actually, but I can find it out. And then you go and ask another person. Okay, it's not, you never say that you don't know something. You say that, oh, well, I'm not sure, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about that actually, but I can find out. You see?
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody, hey, Gabby, do you know who is the person who sells this product near store? You don't know the answer, of course, but you say, oh, I'm not sure about that actually. I can find it out. Pero puedo averiguarlo. Es como que, ¿sabes quién vende ya? Tú obviamente no sabes la respuesta, pero no vas a decir, no sé. Tienes que decir, no estoy seguro, pero voy a averiguarlo. Puede que no averigües, de repente no te compete a ti, no averigües, pero le das esa esperanza, ¿no? Yeah. So, quedas bien. Eso se llama build rapport, creas confraternidad, ¿ok? Y no quedas mal, nunca vas a quedar mal si usas esa expresión. Okay, I'm not sure about that actually, but I can find out. Okay,
Yeah.
or maybe maybe someone asked a question, and Gabby, what does this word mean? Maybe you want to work with someone who speaks English, but this person wants to learn Spanish, you know, and this person says, Gabby, what does mueble mean in Spanish? But you don't say mueble. I've never heard that word in Spanish. Mueble. Oh, I'm not sure about that actually, but I can Google it. I can Google it. I can do that for you. Okay, of course, you always are generous. You always are friendly. Okay. Siempre tratemos de ser amigables para caerle bien a las personas. Okay. Y
Yeah.
ser servicial, helpful. And there is an easy solution that this phrase right here, it's on the tip of my tongue. This is a great phrase for when you actually do know something, but you just can't remember it right in that moment. For example, in our previous class, we learned the expression. Do you remember the expression that we learned last class? From our last class? Or clear up, for example, or clear up, or get hold, or take advantage. Do you remember take advantage of something? Yeah, and then I asked the question, hey, Gabby, what does take advantage mean? And you know the answer, but you don't remember right now. Oh, Carlos, it's on the tip of my tongue. You see? Or maybe you, like somebody, hey, who won the match? And you were watching the match in the morning with someone else. You were watching the match, so you don't you see the flag here, but you don't remember the name. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Lo tengo en la punta de la lengua, but I don't remember. You see? There's a nice expression that you can say, or when you don't know something, you can say, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't remember. I'm so sorry. That's another great expression. Remember the expressions because today we have a test and a PDF, and then we continue with the conversation. Any questions up to this point?
No.
Oh, that's so cool. And this is another one. Please read the expression.
I had something I wanted to say, but I have lost it.
Yes, I had something I wanted to say, but I've lost it. Hopefully, it'll come back. And maybe, for example, Gabby, have you ever been in a meeting or in a conversation where you were listening to other people and it's your turn to speak? Your mind goes completely blank. Se pone en blanco. Yep. And you've forgotten what you were going to contribute, and it happens to me more than I care to admit, and it can be really frustrating sometimes, and it can feel embarrassing if you are being harsh to yourself. Have you ever been in a situation like this, Gabby?
Yes.
Yeah, so when, for example, imagine that you have a presentation. Okay, well, today I'm gonna talk about my country, and I said the blank. Your mind goes completely blank. Look at the expression. Your mind goes completely blank. Te quedas en blanco. No tienes nada que decir. Well, guys, bear with me. Use the expression, please. Bear with me. I'm a little nervous. I had something I wanted to say, but I've lost it. No significa que lo has perdido. Significa que te olvidaste, se te fue por los nervios, te quedaste en blanco. Okay, because sometimes you get anxious. A veces nos da ansiedad, and because you are worried, you are thinking about the word or the expression that you're gonna use, that your mind goes completely blank. You see? This is another one. Te pregunto algo. Okay, no sé lo que iba a decir. I had something I wanted to say, but I've lost it. Tenía algo que quería decir, pero se me ha perdido. No es que se te ha perdido literalmente, sino que se te fue. Okay, that's another expression.
Okay.
I love this one because native speakers, they say this expression like it's very often used. Of course, especially when you are working, maybe the idea of interrupting someone when you got something to say also makes you feel a little nervous? Or for example, imagine that I'm talking to you, right? I'm explaining, and you want to say something, but you say, oh my God, if I interrupt Carlos, maybe he gets angry, or you see, you are nervous. You can say this expression, do you mind if I jump in? That's a nice expression. Um, and very often used in professional context. Okay, imagine that your boss is saying something like, hello everyone, today I'm going to distribute, do you mind if I jump in? You see, it's pretty common, it's pretty casual, you are very friendly, you get along very well with everyone, you can say this expression. Okay, do you mind if I jump in? Any questions? You got
Awkward.
awkward means in Spanish incómodo.
Incómodo.
Awkward. Oh my God, I don't want to be here. This is awkward. The situation can be awkward.
Okay.
Awkward. You understood. I mean, when you have to use the expression, right? When you want to interrupt somebody. Oh, of course. I like this one too. What if you are asking a question and you are not sure if it's appropriate or acceptable to ask that question? You see the context?
What if you're asking a question and you're not sure if it's appropriate to ask that question? Do you mind if I jump in?
No, do you mind if I jump in? Es cuando, a ver, ¿cuándo se usaba? A ver, empecemos. ¿Cuándo usaba I'm a little nervous? ¿Cuándo podrías usar una expresión? Oh, estoy un poco nervioso. En English, o nerviosa en English.
Cuando no conozco mucho el tema.
Yeah, no conoces mucho, no sabes qué decir. I'm a little nervous. Genial. Bear with me.
Es como, ténganme paciencia.
Como, tenme paciencia, compréndeme. Cositas así. Exactly. Give me a moment.
Igual, ¿no?
Y dame un
Como,
momento para no quieres pensar, cosas así. I'm not sure about that actually, but I can find it out.
no sé, pero
Ah,
cuando no sé responder, pero que como diciéndole que voy a averiguarlo.
exacto, quieres quedar bien.
Ujú.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Que no recuerdo, que no me sale la respuesta. Está en la punta de la lengua.
Exacto, tienes la punta de la lengua, no te acuerdas. I had something I wanted to say, but I've lost it.
Cuando se me fue la respuesta.
Cuando se te fue algo, no tienes que decir, te quedaste en blanco. Do you mind if I jump in? When do you use do you mind if I jump in?
Cuando no sé, cuando tengo que interrumpir y no sé si la otra si puedo interrumpirle a la otra persona.
Exacto, cuando quieres interrumpir a alguien y no quieres quedar mal, o sea, es una forma muy casual. Es como decir, oye, antes, déjame que te corte un ratito, antes de que prosiga, cosas así, quedas bien, ¿ok? Y luego tenemos este nuevo contexto, este es distinto, dice, what if you are asking a question and you are not sure if it's appropriate or acceptable to ask that question? This can sometimes happen when you are talking to someone from a different culture. You see, is it okay to talk about marriage? Is it okay to talk about their age? Sometimes it can be a little tricky to know in English. You can preface this question with a phrase that helps to soften it. You see? Or for example, imagine that you go to a funeral. You see a funeral, someone died. It's a special moment for the relatives, parientes. And you say something like, when did he die? Is that question maybe appropriate for that moment? No, right? You cannot ask the question because It's not acceptable, you see?
Yes.
So, or maybe, people say that you can ask a girl her age. You can't, because the girls don't like to say their age, you see? But you can say, well, I hope you don't mind me asking, but how old are you? You see? Espero que no te moleste, pero ¿te importaría decirme cuántos años tienes? Ok, es una manera muy cortés de saber si la pregunta que puedes hacer es aceptable o no. Ok, maybe the culture, maybe you know that nowadays, people belong to different religions, right? They believe in Jesus, they believe in Buddha, they believe um, in something. And maybe you say, and I hope you don't mind me, but I hope you don't mind me asking, but what is your religion, sorry, your religion? Well, I believe in Jesus, or I believe in that, something like that. You see? I hope you don't mind me asking, but
Okay.
any
Yeah.
questions?
No.
Or yeah, man, that's a good context. What about, oh gosh, what about when you forget something that you know you shouldn't have forgotten? You see the context? You forget something that you know you shouldn't have forgotten. You got the question? Dice, ¿qué hay sobre cuando te olvidas algo que sabes que no deberías haber olvidado? Sabes que olvidaste algo que no deberías haber olvidado. For example, it happens to me like every day. My apologies, I've completely forgotten your name. Te olvidaste el nombre de tu partner. My apologies, mis disculpas. He olvidado. Siempre tienes que pedir disculpas. Yeah. So my apologies. I've completely forgotten your name, especially in the UK, because people in the UK, they are very, very strict, and they are like, please, you don't mind if they are very polite. Okay. And you need to like stick to their customs, you see? Tienes que comportarte como lo hacen ellos. So for example, in the UK, this is pretty common. Like, my apologies, I'm 1 minute late. I'm so sorry. Promise I wouldn't, I will never do that again. You see? Te pides mucho disculpas. Or you say, well, I'm so sorry. I've completely forgotten what we were talking about. But you just need to say it. I mean, you say, my apologies, I'm so sorry. But you need to admit that you make or that you made a mistake. This is the most important part here. Or imagine that your shift means turno. Your shift, it's like 4 p.m. and you are like 5 minutes late because there was a heavy traffic and you were stuck on the road. You were stuck, but you say, oh, I'm late now. You say, well, my apologies, sir, I'm so sorry. I was trying my best. There was a heavy traffic, but you need to accept that, or you need to admit that you are responsible for your actions. Responsible for, okay? And you say, well, I admit I'm late, I promise. And then when you say that you are sorry, it's also important that you say that you will never do that again, even when you are going to make the same mistake again in the future, because you don't know. You can, well, I promise I will never do that again, and I will try my best. I will never do that again. I'm working on this. I promise I will change my habits. Yes, now I'm trying to change my routine, so I promise I will never be late again. This is just the last time, I promise. But you are accepting, and apart from that, you're giving a solution in a short period of time. Now I'm changing, but sir, I'm sorry. Let's work. And then you change the topic, you see? And the person, okay, Carlos, don't worry. Go, I understand, I feel, because I were in your position. You see? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and the names is really important. Then you say, all right, this is a different type of nervous energy. It's not the same that when you are talking to your boss and you forget something, it's different because the energy is different, right? Because you're apologizing. Yeah. And and then you've met it so many times before, and you say it's much better, although a little awkward. When you forget the names, I mean, when you forget someone's name, it's like awkward or not. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. So apparently it's 3 times. When you find out what their name is, 3 times you need to say their name in order to remember it next time. For example, you say, hi, Joan, nice to see you again. Lovely have to you, Joan. Tell me about your kids. Well, John, it was really lovely to see you. All right, by now. I said John 3 times, so I am likely to remember his name. You just need, apparently, okay? People say that if you say the name 3 times, you will remember the name. Okay? Any questions up to this point? We were learning different expressions that we can use according to the context or depending on the situation that we are. You see? No questions?
No.
Oh, that's so cool. What about a difficult conversations? What do you understand when I say difficult conversations?
About a topic that I don't understand very well.
Yeah, a topic that you don't understand very well. Another idea?
When I talk with someone who talks fast,
Who
fast.
talks fast? Yeah, this is another difficult conversation. So let's go here. Let me move this. So what about when the conversation is just kind of hard for some reason? Maybe it's hard to keep up or hard to follow what's happening. Or if you are in a conversation with a bunch of native English speakers or advanced English users, then they might be speaking really quickly in those words that you can fully hear, or words that you recognize, and you feel like you are in over your head. You were right. You'd say when you're talking to native speakers, they speak fast. So when you are in over your head, Carlos, what does in over your head mean? When you are in over your head means that to become involved in a difficult situation for you to be. You see? In Spanish, well, in Peru, people say, estoy cabezón. Estar cabezón significa que estás muy atareado, muy estresado por una situación que estás atravesando. En inglés tenemos la expresión, you are in over your head. Okay? So, what can we say when you are in a situation like this? Imagine, look at this expression, a group of people, you can say a bunch of people, a bunch of native speakers, a bunch of people, you see?
Yes.
A bunch. What is keep up? Keep up means continuar. Do you remember? Or seguir el ritmo. Keep up is another phrasal verb. Keep up. Por ejemplo, yo digo, quiero seguirle el ritmo a Pedro. Pedro está corriendo delante de mí. Seguirle el ritmo quiere decir que voy a correr al ritmo de Pedro, ¿sí o no? I want to keep up with Pedro. Mira, I want to keep up with Pedro. You see? Quiero continuar haciendo ejercicio. I want to keep up exercising. Quiero continuar estudiando. I want to keep up studying. Keep up solo significa continuar. Keep up significa seguirle el ritmo. Si quiero seguir el ritmo a alguien, es keep up with. Quiero seguir por ejemplo, cada año las tecnologías cambian. Yo tengo que seguirle el ritmo a la tecnología. Quiero decir que Todos los años voy a estar estudiando cosas distintas para seguirle el ritmo, right? I want to keep up with the new technologies. I want to keep up with the news. Estar al corriente de las noticias. Otro significado de keep up es estar atento de las noticias. Por ejemplo, estar al corriente de. Carlos, ¿qué significa estar al corriente de? Estar informado. I want to keep up with the news. Es otra expresión que se usa a diario. I want to keep up with the news. ¿Ok?
Y con verbos,
Con
¿cómo era?
ing. Continuar. Continuar. Recuerda, Carlos, ¿y por qué va con ing? Porque recuerda que app es una partícula y una partícula es el nombre que le ponen a las preposiciones solamente porque están con los verbos frasales. Y recuerda que después de todas las preposiciones van con ing. Y las partículas es el pseudonombre, ¿no? El AKA de las preposiciones. Ahora, Gabby, so imagine you are in a situation like this. There are a bunch of people, a bunch of native speakers or advanced students are talking to you, and it might be speaking really quickly, you know, and you can fully hear or understand the words. How do you feel? You feel like you are over in your head, right? Remember the expression, you are over in your head. Tú estás sobre tu cabeza. Acuérdate de la cabeza porque en el peruano le decimos, oye, estás cabezón, quiere decir que tienes muchos problemas, estás atareado. So in this situation, you can politely and confidently say that you don't understand what they have said. Of course, I told you, be honest. If you don't understand, don't say yes, no. Can you speak, maybe we have here. I have to admit, this is a little beyond me. Tengo que admitirlo, esto ya me sobrepasa, va más allá de mí. Okay? You can understand, or maybe someone, a native speaker, okay, Gabriela, this is what you have to do. First, you need to go for the second part that you have to do here is to clean up. And then if you have time, please go to the store and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm sorry. Bear with me, but I have to admit this is little beyond me. You see? I can understand with this expression, you are really putting an end to the discussion. You are not asking for them to clarify. You are saying it's too much. This conversation for me, I can follow along. Let's end it. Okay? Which sounds kind of serious. So that's the extreme. Let's end the conversation, but come back from there and we can say. Cuando ya, si veo que me están hablando un montón de nativos al mismo tiempo, hablan rápido, no entiendo. Well, I'm sorry. I have to admit, this is a little beyond me. No les estás pidiendo que hablen lento. No les estás pidiendo que repitan. Está diciendo que basta. Ya que terminemos, I can understand, you know, I have to go y te vas. Okay. So, es como que muy serio, ¿cierto? ¿Ya? Es cuando ya no puede.
malo.
¿Esto de aquí?
Ajá.
Of
Decir
course,
eso.
como te digo, es el extremo. Ya no, esto va más allá de mis habilidades. Entonces, para sonar un poco menor, ¿no? Esta es cuando ya quieres terminar la conversación y no, ya no, chao, chao. Sorry, I'm afraid I don't follow you. When you say this expression, you are suggesting that you need them to re-explain or explain it in a different way. ¿Te diste cuenta? Ellos lo van a volver a reexplicar o te lo explican de otra manera. I'm sorry, I don't follow. When you don't follow someone means that you couldn't understand something and they have to repeat what they have said before. You see? This is another expression. Or maybe I'm saying, well, Gabby, the passive voice and structure that we use when we focus on the object, not in the adjective or in the noun. So the next time that you're going to use this, sorry, Carlos, I'm afraid I don't follow you. Can you explain a different way? Maybe because I can't understand. You see? Or Gabby, okay, the procedure for this, first you be here and then you need to ask the ID and then you need to ask the bank account number and then you need to ask this common questions here, the name, email, address, and some typical questions that we have to type on a computer. What? And then you say, oh, sorry, I'm afraid I don't follow you. Could you repeat that again, please? I couldn't understand very well. And the person, you know, friendly, in a friendly way, this person will explain again. Es como que
Right.
hablas de maneras, oye, Carlos, explícame de nuevo un favor, no me quedó tan claro. I don't follow you, es como, no me quedó tan claro y eso me hace entender, ay, te explico de nuevo. Como me lo has pedido de una manera amigable, yo también te lo hago de una manera amigable. No le digas, I'm afraid, I don't understand, explain again. ¿Cómo que explain again? So, ¿por qué me das órdenes? Recuerda que eso se llama imperativos. ¿Ok? Y recuerda que el tono en que lo digas también influye demasiado. No es lo mismo, please explain again, or please explain again. Mandato, explícame de nuevo. No, please explain again. El tono que vimos en entonación is very important and crucial in English. Okay? Any questions?
No.
Remember the expression because then we have a quiz. Or we have expression 12 and 13. Please read number 12.
Could you please say that a little slower?
Yes, you can understand this one, right?
Yes.
Could you please say that a little, but look at the structure. A little slower, a little, un poquito más lento. A little slower. Our 13, please read 13.
Será para mí, creo.
13?
13. I'm not entirely sure what you mean.
Yeah, it's perfect. I'm not, but remember rhythm and stress content, like I'm not, like I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Like, ¿te diste cuenta cómo cambia? No, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. What you mean. What you mean. I'm not. El ritmo no es lo mismo. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Like, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Es como que no te presté atención porque no quise. En cambio, I'm not entirely what you mean. Es lo que realmente quieres decir, ¿no? Recuerda el ritmo de las oraciones. ¿Cómo preguntarías la 12? A ver, así como, like a native.
Could you please say that a little slower?
That's amazing. Ahora sí está great. Or another expression. Read it.
Sorry, that went straight over my head.
Over my head. My head. Sorry. That went. Mira cómo yo lo digo, ¿no? Sorry. That went straight over my head. Straight over my head. El inglés es uno de los idiomas que es como cantado, ¿no? Entonces, tú tienes que vivirla. Ellos no sé si te has dado cuenta, pero like expresan mucho el cuerpo al momento de hablar, abren mucho la boca, a diferencia de los británicos, ¿ok? Ellos son muy like very, the Russian, they are very, they use body gestures and facial expressions, okay? So they, sorry, like, and sorry, no, sorry, that, like, went over my head. Tienes que darle tu propio, así como lo dirías, no, oh, lo siento, eso fue demasiado para mí. No es lo mismo decir así que decir, lo siento, eso fue demasiado para mí. No, ¿entiendes lo que trato de decir? La forma en que tú los digas a veces es más importante en que cómo lo pronuncias. No es lo mismo decir, mira, sorry, mi pronunciación está perfecta, sorry, pero que, oh, sorry, en la segunda me siento con culpa, como, oh, lo siento, no me quiero decir, I'm sorry, sorry, es un disculpa, no, sí, la forma en que lo digas influye demasiado, ¿ok? Any questions? Es igualito, esto me sobrepasó, no puedo entenderlo, I'm straight over my head.
Okay, yeah.
Next. Now, this is what you need to remember. If someone asks for your opinion about a topic like me, because I always ask different questions, and you don't actually feel able to talk about in English, Then you could say, read 15 and 15, please.
It's interesting listening to you talk, but to be honest,
The next.
I don't, hmm, I don't know much about this topic.
Ajá. Me parece
Es solo
interesante.
uno, ¿no?
Dime. Sí, los
Es solo
unes.
uno. Ah, ok.
Los unes. Te pregunto, maybe I ask you, well, Gabby, what's your opinion? What are your thoughts on Elon Musk? Elon Musk's investment. You know, these days Elon Musk like bought Twitter, and I start talking about something, but you know anything about Twitter or software companies, right? Because you don't care. It's not you. It's you're not interested in technology. And well, Gabi, that Twitter is one of the most expensive social media companies that now they are buying Instagram, and maybe one day, and but you say, well, Carlos, I don't care. I don't want to talk about, I don't want to talk about this topic. You know anything about this topic, right? Or you know nothing. You know nothing. Okay. And then you say, well, it's interesting listening to you, but to be honest, I don't know much about this topic. Es como, me parece genial cómo me hablas de esto, pero para serte honesto, no sé de este tema.
Ajá.
Una manera muy cortés, muy polite, y lo mejor de todo es que es friendly. No caes mal, no suenas arrogante, ni suenas como que no te importa. Okay.
Okay.
Or 16, you know this one, I think. 16, please read it. Read them.
Whoa, I never really thought about this much before, but I am enjoying listening to you talk about it.
To talk about it, of course. You're saying that you don't know anything about the topic, but you're interested in what this person is saying. You see? You are interested in what this person is saying, but you don't know. So you can like share the ideas because you don't know. You got it?
It's the same, no?
It's the same. It's the same. Me parece genial escucharte. Es interesante lo que me dices, pero yo no puedo aportar más a la conversación ya que no sé. Pero si quieres te sigo escuchando. Something like that.
Ujú.
Todo eso es, todo eso. Like, si quieres pones el wow, you know. Wow, suenas como que, wow, qué genial. Nunca he pensado sobre esto, pero me parece divertido lo que me cuentas. Así de caes bien. Ok, eso se llama build rapport.
Okay.
Ok, no questions?
No.
Ok, vamos a mitad de camino. Next. I'm not well versed on this topic, so I rather hold off on saying anything until I know a bit more. Any questions? ¿Qué crees que signifique hold off? Por contexto nada más. Trata de traducirlo.
Pienso, ay, no sé, Em, pref- preferiría dejar, no sé,
¿Preferiría dejar de decir cualquier cosa? Por ejemplo, digo, I am not well versed. Vamos a tratar de interpretar el significado well versed. Versed viene de verso, well, bien, bien qué cosa en este tema. I rather hold off. Hold off is like, preferiría esperar decir cualquier cosa hasta que yo conozca un poco más. Es como que, ¿se entiende el término hold off, el término hold off? Hold off es como esperar.
Okay.
Es como prefiero, ese I rather hold off, es como prefiero no decir nada hasta que sepa más. Para no decir una tontería, una pachotada, digo, Ay, prefiero empaparme más del tema y luego recién hablar. No voy a hablar si es que no conozco del tema, porque hay gente que habla sin saber.
Follow, esperar entonces.
Esperar. Sí, vamos a
Ujú.
googlearlo. Hold off.
No sé, y
Es
well
como-
versed.
Well-versed es como empapado del tema. A ver, primero googleemos well-versed. Se ve mi navegador, ¿cierto?
Ajá.
Pero creo que lo voy a buscar en Word Reference porque no hay en... Recuerda que las palabras que aprendemos a veces no las encontramos en el diccionario.
Ujú.
Ah, well-versed. Muy versado, muy versado. Pero muy versado es una persona muy empapada. Empapada no de agua, sino de mucho conocimiento. No estoy empapado del tema. No
Ok.
sé si me dejo entender el término empapado.
Y como un experto en el tema.
Can you hear me?
Ahora sí.
Okay, well-versed, una persona well-versed in. Te pregunto, Gabby, what do you think about the animals in the Antarctic? Well, Carlos, I am not well-versed in this topic, so I rather hold off. Yo que tú me aprendo la expresión completa, Gabby. El I rather hold off on saying anything. Es una expresión que es, prefiero no decir algo tonto y quedar mal. No, prefiero no decir algo que no sé y luego quedar mal, ¿no? Porque no sé nada. Es como que te pregunte, Gaby, ¿qué opinas de la compra de Elon Musk en Twitter? Tú no sabes nada de Twitter. Dices, bueno, me parece genial. De repente Elon Musk hacer una buena película. Querías aportar, pero por querer aportar, dices una pachotada, algo que no tiene sentido y quedas mal. Es preferible no opinar de algo que no conocemos o informarnos, ¿no? La expresión, ¿no? I rather hold off on saying anything until I know a bit more.
Ok.
Vamos a buscar el hold off. El hold off para ver cómo lo traducen aquí. Demorarse en hacer algo, prevent. Es como prefiero evitar decir algo. I rather, preferiría evitar, hold off, esperar, decir algo, frenarme. Según esto dice posponer, demorar en hacer algo. Hold off on doing something. Hold on saying something. Esperar en decir algo. Preferiría aguantarme un rato en decir cualquier cosa hasta que conozca un poco más. Sí, 17. Muy buena expresión. La tienes que memorizar y aprendértela. Para que luego, cuando te pregunten, cuando tú te memorizas la expresión, memorizarse las expresiones no es nada malo. Porque siempre que te pregunten, te pregunto, Gabby, what do you think? Which is the best, Apple or Show Me? You know anything, you know nothing about cell phones. And you say, well, Carlos, I am not well versed in technology, so I rather hold off on saying anything until I know a bit more. Te cambio de tema, Gabby. And which one is better, the Yankees or the second team? Well, Carlos, you know, I'm not well versed in sports. I'm not well versed in this topic. I'm not well versed in technology. I'm not well versed in the movie. You whatever. You change the topic, okay?
Yeah.
But you complete the expression. I rather hold off on saying anything until I know a bit more. That is an amazing expression. Okay, please
Okay.
read the expression, the whole expression.
I'm not well versed on this topic, so I rather hold off on saying anything until I know a bit more.
A bit more. Okay. Estuvo bien. Ahora más rápido. So, I rather hold off. En la parte del hold off on, ahí te vas a trancar. Mira, rather hold on off. No es lo mismo que decir rather hold off on. Rather hold off on. Rather hold off on. And you, give it a shot.
Rather hold off on.
Hold off on, muy bien, hold off on, hold off on. I rather hold off on, hold off on, hold off on. Lo juntas, hold off on, okay?
Okay.
Next. I think I have some exercises here. Ahora te voy a compartir una serie de ejercicios que tienes que practicar todos los días para que tu lengua se vaya acostumbrando. Recuerda que tenemos que acostumbrarnos a los movimientos incómodos en el inglés. Or this one. I don't know enough about this topic to fully contribute to this discussion. Esto ya es muy polite. Okay, another expression that you can use. Got it? Contribute, contribuir, ¿no? Aportar. Contribute to this discussion.
Okay.
And this is the one I like to. Sometimes you can say, well, sometimes when I'm learning, because I'm learning different languages, and when my teacher asks me a question, and I use this one, it's pretty hard to express my ideas about this topic in English, but I will try my best. Okay? So I love this one, and make sure to write it down. Write something down, anotar. You are being really honest, and you're also taking a deep breath on going for it. You're taking the opportunity to participate, even though you're doubting yourself. Aquí como que vas a dar tu opinión, vas a decir algo, vas a opinar, vas a expresar algo, y te estás disculpando de antemano como para que te disculpen si cometes algún error. Te justificas con anticipación. ¿Ok? Es como que diga, bueno, el día de hoy voy a hablar sobre los animales vertebrados, pero déjenme decirles que no he estudiado nada y justo hoy preparé mi presentación, así que no esperen nada bueno de mí. De repente lo sorprendo. Y yo sí, no esperes nada de mí, te voy a sorprender. Something like that. It's pretty hard to express my ideas about this topic in English, but I will try my best. Aquí lo completé. I'll try my best. Ok, de repente alguien te hace una pregunta, a veces muy difícil. And Gabby, if you have the opportunity to travel to another country, which one would you like to go? And why not Mexico or why not Peru? And people here are from Peru, and you say, why not Peru? And then you can use the expression, it's pretty hard to express my ideas sometimes, you see? Justificándote. ¿Ok? También, también es como que a veces hay personas que saben muy bien gramática, mayormente las personas que son de la India. It's pretty hard to express my ideas in English. You know, my pronunciation, sometimes I don't know. I'll try my best. También cuando vas a hablar con alguien, por ejemplo, en una entrevista, dices, well, sometimes it's pretty hard for me to pronounce some words. Because I am not a native speaker, but you know, I'll try my best because I love this language. Te justificas antes, dices, uy, esta persona ha venido preparada, no me ha dicho que le cuesta mucho, así que de repente pronuncia, no, en vez de decir playa, dice otra cosa, voy a tratar de ponerme en su lugar. Okay, so you can use the expression. Okay? Now, next topic, misunderstanding. Well, here we have like, no, aquí ya se pone un poco más complicado, but igual they are very important, okay? Let's have a look at some phrases for when there's been a misunderstanding. And these are really useful to provide clarity. Those times when you need to re-explain something or say it in a different way to clear up confusion. Clear up, ¿qué era clear up? Ya lo vimos hace varias clases, clear up.
Resolver.
Aclarar algo, ¿cierto? Resolver algún malentendido. Recuerda que decimos clear up confusion, clear up misunderstanding, clear up a misconception. Lo voy a googlear porque la palabra clear up es muy, pero muy útil. Clear up, a ver. Clear up, aclarar, explicar, ¿verdad? Misconception. Clear up misconception. It's a misconception. Pero clear up se usa con misconceptions. He escuchado muchos nativos decir misconception. Misconception es una idea errónea que se tiene. Por ejemplo, las personas creen que la Tierra es plana. Digo, well, it's important to clear up this misconception. Nowadays, scientific studies y continúas. Misconception, una idea errónea. Ok, misunderstanding viene a ser un malentendido. Y confusion es una confusión. Clear up. You got it?
Yes.
Next. Please read the expression number 20 and 21 then.
I think you may have misunderstood what I said.
What I said. I think you may have misunderstood what I've said. Es muy buena expresión. And number 21, you know the expression number 21?
I didn't mean to say that. What I meant was.
Okay, what I meant, el pasado de mean es meant. Es como que, oye, no quise decir eso. Lo que yo traté de decir fue, en este caso, mean tiene doble significado, ¿no? No, mean significa tener la intención de hacer algo, ¿te acuerdas? So, I didn't mean to say that. No tuve la intención de decir eso. Lo que yo, recuerda que mean también significa tratar de decir, lo que yo traté de decir fue. Y luego, explain it in a different way. Okay?
Sí.
You
Yes.
get it? So the 21, it's really important. So I highly recommend that you can you write it down. Que anotes la 21. Next, then please read number 22.
I'm sorry for the confusion. What I actually mean was, no means, no?
Meant, porque el
Meant
presente es
was.
mean. Ajá. Recuerda que mean como adjetivo es malo. Mean como adjetivo, por ejemplo, oye, esa persona es mala. Esa persona es mala, ¿cómo se dice? That person is mean or that person is bad.
Mean.
Mean, ¿ok? Cuando tú eres malo porque eres malo en algo. Por ejemplo, Juan juega fútbol, pero es pésimo jugando fútbol. Digo, oye, Juan is bad, you know, bad at playing soccer, but Juan is bad, es malísimo. Pero de repente Juan mata a las personas. No, Juan is mean, be careful. Okay. 23. This is another one.
I'm so sorry. My message must have got lost in translation.
Let me explain again. Y le dices que le expliques de nuevo. No, discúlpame. Parece que se me malentendió el mensaje, se ha confundido el mensaje. Déjame explicarte de nuevo. Okay? You can use that expression, the 23rd. And 24, it says, I think we've got our wires crossed. Okay, what do you think it means? I think we've got our wire crossed. Any ideas? Wire crossed?
I don't know, wires.
A wire. Alambre. Alambre es wire. Se me cruzaron los.
Cables.
¿Y cómo traducirías que se te cruzaron los cables?
Me confundí.
Ese. A ver, googleemos. No. A ver, dice, we got wire crossed to fail to understand each other. You see? ¿Se entiende? No entendernos el uno al otro. Creo que nos malentendimos ambos. Yo no te entendí, tú no me entendiste a mí. We got our wire crossed. So there were a couple really great idioms there. Did you catch them? Really good ones for helping to clear a misunderstanding. Este es el primer idioma que aprendimos. Tener los cables cruzados significa que tú ni yo nos entendemos. We got our wire crossed. Esto es muy coloquial. Y okay, you got this part?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, misunderstandings are really pretty harmless, but if you unintentionally upset someone, don't worry. This happens more often than you think, but apologizing as soon as you realize and then clarifying what you actually meant will usually help. ¿Te diste cuenta que primero lo que aprendimos fue de los misunderstandings? También aprendimos a disculparnos. Difficult conversations.
Sí. Yes.
Of course, and plus I got some really useful phrases that you can use when you want to apologize and explain a misunderstandings. This one, you seem upset. Did I say something wrong? Pareces molesto. Dije algo malo. You seem upset. Did I say something wrong? Or that definitely didn't come out right. I'm so sorry. Esa es otra expresión. Okay. ¿Cómo podrías traducir come out? That definitely didn't come out. Antes de que veamos el significado.
No sé. Ya estoy teniendo- ¿Qué no estuvo correcto? No estuvo bien.
Exacto, no fue lo correcto. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pero that definitely salió como lo esperabas. Come out. Eso no salió como. Mira, veamos aquí. Salir, 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 publicarse. No, no sé si has escuchado. Eso no salió como lo planeamos. Lo siento. So that definitely didn't come out right. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
27, I can completely understand why you're hurt. I'm deeply sorry for what I said. Maybe sometimes when you are arguing with someone, you want to say sorry and maybe you said something that you can take it back. Take back something es retirar lo que has dicho antes. Uh-oh, no estaba mostrando mi pantalla. Ahora sí se ve la expresión, ¿cierto?
Yes.
Ya, veamos aquí. La expresión es take something back. Take back significa retractarse de algo, de que has dicho. Por ejemplo, yo digo, hey, your dad is stupid. Your dad is, digo, tu papá es estúpido. Y tú dices, what did you say? Take it back. Take it back. Como que retira lo dicho. Retráctate de lo que he dicho. Take something back. Así se usa. Take lo que dijiste y back. Hey, for example, hey, mom, I hate you. And then tú como, well, hey, take it back. Retráctate lo que dijiste. Take something back. Take it back, take it back. Take it back también es regresar algún producto a alguna tienda donde compraste. Mom, yesterday I bought a cell phone and the cell phone is not working now, right now. Okay, let's take it back. Devolvámoslo. Take it back. Let's take it back. Okay? 28, please read.
I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. I didn't intend it to come across that way.
That way. What do you think here? ¿Qué entiendes de la oración? I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. I did.
Por herir tus sentimientos.
Lo siento por herir tus sentimientos.
No.
I didn't intend to come across.
No quise. No. I didn't
To come
No.
across. No tenía la intención de que eso come across that way. Come across tiene muchos significados. Come across significa toparse con algo. Come across significa dar la impresión de algo también. Veamos el primer come across. Come across primero es encontrarte con algo. Por ejemplo, well, I'm cleaning my house and I came across a cell phone yesterday. I came across. El pasado de come es came. Or I was walking down the street and I came across Pepita. She was with Juanito. You see? Came across. Encontrarse con alguien. ¿Quedó claro el primer significado de come across?
Yes.
Yo digo came across por pasado. Ahora, come across, tienes que agregarle El as y solito significa dar la impresión de algo. Por ejemplo, escucha esta expresión. If you use these expressions, you can come across as a native speaker. If you use this expression, you can come across as a native speaker. Puedes dar la impresión de un nativo. O sea, tú das la impresión de que eres nativo. You see?
Yes.
Ok, ahora, el come across solo también es dar la impresión. Ok. For example, I'm not sure how my speech come across. No sé qué impresión de mi speech. Y el otro que vamos a ver ahorita es el come across, que significa entenderse.
Okay.
Por ejemplo, the president's message came across very clearly. El mensaje del presidente se entendió muy claro. Por ejemplo, the explanation came across very clearly. The explanation, la explicación, came across, se entendió muy rápido. A ver, voy a escribirlo aquí, no te preocupes, para que te queden los conceptos claros. Empezamos. Primero, come across. Encontrarse a algo o alguien. Por ejemplo, I came across $10 in my bed. In my bedroom. I came across a beautiful girl at the party. ¿Se entendió el primer come across?
Sí.
Yeah, next. Come across también utiliza la preposición as. I want to come across as a good person. Quiero dar la impresión de ser una buena persona. ¿Se entendió? Quiero que piensen.
No.
Dar la impresión es que alguien piense. ¿Ok? For example, my speech. My speech. El otro, perdón. Tenemos otro come across. Dar a entenderse. My speech came across very clearly. En la siguiente, mi discurso se dio a entender muy, muy claro. You see?
Ajá.
Que las personas se dio a entender. Cuando tú explicas, por ejemplo, cuando tú usas palabras adecuadas para explicar algo, tú te das a entender. ¿O no? Yeah. ¿Se entiende el uso de darse a entender? Yeah.
Sí.
Entonces dice, no fue mi intención que se diera a entender de esa manera.
Ya.
Okay. This is another expression. Esta es una muy buena expresión para pedir disculpas. Y
Ajá.
en el trabajo, por ejemplo, decimos algo que no debemos. So this is another, but this is just in real life, I think. I'm sorry, that was insensitive. I appreciate you calling me out on what I said. ¿Cómo traducirías call me out antes de buscarla?
Calling me out.
Yes, you call it. I appreciate you calling me out. On what I said, en lo que dije. Espero que me. A ver. Antes de que lo escriba, call. Nope.
No.
Espero que me hables, que me entiendas. Okay? I appreciate you calling me out on what I said. Yo lo traduzco, well, I'm sorry, it's hope you calling me out. Espero que me comprendas, o espero que me disculpes lo que dije. Call somebody out. Informar, persona con autoridad, reprender, espero que me reprendas. Entonces, I appreciate you call me on what I said. No, no me parece la traducción, pero es como que
Pero appreciate
es
es
apreciar,
espero.
appreciate.
Yo aprecio, yo espero.
Apreciaría que tú,
Ah, ok,
apreciaría que tú me,
entiendo.
sí, yo lo traduzco así, call me out. Espero que me disculpes lo que dije, pero aquí no me parece. Busquemos. To announce something, to share our them, control one's minute, abusive behavior in the user, to challenge, to request some user no, to lie to orders, to draw something, to shout. To call out significa retar a alguien en una pelea también. To shut in, attempt to draw attention. To redirect. También es llamar. No me parece aquí en los diccionarios. Acá está tu anunciar algo que, lo, que alguien sabe que otra mente no tiene intención. Es como que, I'm sorry, that was insensitive, sensitive significa sensato. Insensitive, insensato. Discúlpame, eso fue insensato de mi parte. Apreciaría que en lo que dije, que me disculpes. I appreciate you calling me out on what I said. Es una expresión. No, no puedes encontrar esa expresión en internet. La estaba buscando ahorita para ver una traducción, pero cuando tú le dices, I appreciate you calling me out on what I said, maybe si usamos el traductor de Google, te puede aparecer. Pero se entiende el uso
Ajá.
me entiendo, espero que me entiendas lo que dije. Por ejemplo,
Sí.
I appreciate you calling me out on what I have said. Agradezco que me llames por lo que he dicho. Te agradezco que me llames por lo que... Sí, call somebody out significa llamar, pero aquí no significa que te llame literalmente. ¿Ok? No te aparece. ¿Ves cómo te digo? Esas son las palabras que te digo. No es que están en el traductor, porque el traductor no piensa como el come across, que tiene 3 traducciones. Tú tienes que ver cuál es. Ahora sí, sensitive issues. This is another one. All right, let's talk about phrases for sensitive. ¿Qué significa sensitive?
Insensato. No.
No, sensible. Mira, sensitive,
Insensible.
sensitive, creo que yo lo dije mal. Insensitive significa insensible. Sensitive, sensible. Pero cuando tú dices sensible, significa sensato. A ver, lo voy a escribir. A ver. Sensitive, según tu mente, esto es sensitivo para ti, ¿sí o no? Sensitive. Ya, pero sensitive es sensible. Y sensible significa sensato. ¿Se entiende? Por ejemplo, si tú lloras a ver una película, ¿eres una persona sensible o sensitive?
Sensitive.
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 Yes. Si tú eres una persona que primero piensa y luego realiza una acción, ¿es una persona sensitive o sensible?
Sensible.
Sensible. Insensitive quiere ser insensible. ¿Ok? Ok, acuérdate de eso. Sensible, sensible, sensato, sensitive, sensible. Sensitive, sensible, sensible, sensato. Sensitive, sensible, sensible, sensato. Ahora vamos a hablar de sensitive issues. ¿Qué significa sensitive issues?
Problemas sensibles.
Problemas sensibles. Or sensitive topics, because people in different cultures have different social rules or beliefs about what is considered okay to talk about and what isn't. Maybe you have a colleague who says things that are inappropriate or maybe just feel uncomfortable talking about a particular topic. Whether someone realized they're being appropriate or not doesn't really matter. You absolutely have the right to let them know about if you think they're being appropriate. But having the right language, the exact phrase to help you do, this is essential, and this is what we're going to talk about. Gaby, quiero que nos enfoquemos aquí en esta parte. Es lo más interesante de la clase. It says, whether someone realized they're being inappropriate or not doesn't really matter. ¿Puedes traducir esa expresión? Can you? Sí. Traduce, translate. Sí, alguien. Did I realize? Darse. Darse cuenta. El verbo realize, no pienses que es realizar. El verbo realize significa darse cuenta. ¿Ok? Whether es como decir if, un sinónimo de if. If. Ya, ahora sí puedes traducir.
Si alguien se da cuenta que ellos
Que ellos están.
les están siendo inapropiados o no,
Ajá. Realmente
eh,
no.
realmente no importa. Eso no
Ajá.
importa.
¿Por qué? Continúa.
Yo se lo fijo, tú tienes la razón en
No.
dejarle,
Tú tienes absolutamente el derecho de qué.
tienes absolutamente el derecho de dejarles saber, de hacerles saber. No.
Ajá, tienes que hacerles saber que ellos están siendo inapropiados. Ok, algunas veces nos vamos a encontrar con lo siguiente. Let's go here. Tututun, tututun. Okay, this is straight to the point, but it's still polite and it's really good phrase to have at your sleep when someone asks you a question. You don't really want to answer, and it's got a really nice English politeness to it too. Is it okay with you? Esta pregunta, for example, I'd rather not to talk about this if that's okay, or if it's okay. You see? Preferiría no hablar sobre este tema si está bien. I'd rather not to talk about this if that's okay, or is it that okay with you? This is another way to say this phrase, okay? En lugar de decir, can you stop being an idiot, please? You can say, I'd rather not to talk about this. That okay? You can say it. Te preguntan, no sé, una pregunta incómoda. Well, I'd rather not to talk about this if it's that okay. Remember that in the US, in different countries, you can find people from all over the world, different cultures, different religions, different from you, to be honest. And for example, sometimes you can't ask questions that for you are appropriate, but for them are inappropriate. Okay. For example, someone can ask, hey, how many kids do you have? Maybe for you, it's a nice question, but sometimes you feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's a person who looks like, or he's weird and the situation is awkward, you know? And you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to say, well, I have 3 kids, I have 2 kids. You say, I'd rather not talk about this if it's that okay. Maybe, for example, you are taking a taxi, okay? A taxi. And someone
Yes.
asks you, hey, lady, are you single? Do you have a boyfriend? Are you married? Things like that, you know? This is inappropriate, of course. And in English, of course, you need to know how or what expression you can say. You say, I'd rather not to talk about this if it's that okay. And the way that you say you can express a lot. Okay. And of course, you are being polite. You are being polite. Okay. You see what I'm trying to say? You see what I mean?
Yes.
And yes, it can sound a little rude or confronting, to be really direct here. Okay, so we use them just to help soften the request and make sure everyone feels comfortable in the conversation. Sometimes maybe you're in a party and someone, hey, are you single? You're just having fun with your friends, and well, I'd rather not to talk about this. If is that okay? It's uncomfortable for you. Okay, or you say this one, to be honest, I don't feel like talking about this right now. Maybe you are angry with someone, maybe you had an argument with someone and you don't want to say something that then you have to take it back. You see, you don't want to say something that then you want to take it back. Take something back, retractarte. You see, de repente no quieres decir algo que después te vas a retractar. Pues, to be honest, I don't feel like talking about this right now. Or close to home. This is an expression. Close to home are remarks that upsets you because it's related to personal problems. This topic hits close to home. It's tough for me to talk about it. Upset means que te pone triste y molesto. Maybe, for example, someone killed your cousin. Someone killed your cousin, and then you are in a meeting and they are talking about a movie where there was a girl and the girl was killed, and you remember your cousin, right? And they say, hey, what do you think about this, Gabby? Do you think that this is funny, right? And you say, well, this topic hits close to home, so it's tough for me to talk about it. I prefer it. You can say, I'd rather not to talk about this, if it's that okay. You see? And they say, oh, don't worry, Gabby, we can change the topic. You see? Or you had a problem maybe, and you say, wow, this is stupid right now. And you say, I'd rather not talk about this. Or Gabby, why are you crying? Did you have an argument with someone? But I'd rather not to talk about this. If it's that okay for me, it's okay for you. You see? Evitar conversar de lo que no quieres. And now, yeah, this is the next part. So the next few phrases, Gabby, are more direct. They are quite blunt, and I only recommend using them if the person that you're talking is being really persistent in their behavior. For example, I haven't had to use these phrases much, and I hope that you don't have to either, but there are times when I wish that I have had these really strong words to calm my mind in that moment. Sometimes when you had a difficult moment, your mind goes blank. Do you remember the expression? You don't know what to say. Imagine that you experience a bad situation in English, and of course, even though you speak Spanish, you don't know what to say. Imagine in English, it would be more difficult, right? You see?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that by sharing them with you today, they'll come easier to you when you are in need of them. A recent example of this for me is I had a conversation with a potential investor in my business, and he was asking me if I was planning to have children because that would impact his interest in investing in my company. And I was so shocked in that moment, and I just answered him, but I wish that I have said this. Okay? I don't mean to sound rude, but that isn't any of your business. Do you remember when I said that you were in the taxi and someone said, hey, you look pretty young, and do you have a boyfriend? You don't know this person, Gabby, so you don't need to give explanations, you see? Or not?
No.
Okay, estás en un taxi y te preguntan, oye, luces muy bonita. ¿Tienes novio? You don't want to talk about that, right? You say, I don't mean to sound rude, but that isn't any of your business. Pero eso no te compete, cosas así. Okay? No es de tu incumbencia. Esa es la palabra que I was looking for in my mind. You see? But si la persona sigue preguntándote cosas que tú no quieres responder, you say, that's a really personal question, I'm not comfortable answering that. Maybe for example, imagine that I ask this question, Gabby, are you planning to have another baby? And maybe you can have babies. This question is uncomfortable, right? And you don't want to say, I can have babies. You say, that's a really personal question and I'm not comfortable answering that. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Or I am your boss. And then you say, hey, Gabby, what are you going to do today? Are you alone in your house? And then, well, that's a really personal question, sir. I'm not comfortable answering that. Ahora no se lo sé now. That's a really good question, or that's a personal question, sir. No, that's different. Okay. So this is the reason that the way that you said is really important. Okay. And these expressions you need to remember if the person is persistent in their behavior. Si continúa su comportamiento, puedes usar otra expresión también. I think you're overstepping boundaries with that question. I'd rather not answer that. Como que creo que estás sobrepasando los límites con esa pregunta. This is another question. Maybe I ask you, and we're working together, and hey, Gabby, and do you have some problems with your husband? And I am not your friend. I'm your colleague. We are working in this company together. You say, I think you are overstepping boundaries with that question. I am just your colleague. And then you say, I don't mean rude. I don't mean to sound rude, but that isn't any of your business. No es de tu incumbencia. Or you can say, I'd rather not talk about this if it's that okay. Maybe because you are sad, whatever. You got it?
Yes.
Remember these expressions, they are really important, of course. And even in Spanish, cuando alguien te hace esta pregunta, when someone asks you an uncomfortable question, an awkward question, even sometimes you don't know what to say because you're shocked, right? In English, it would be the same, but it would be great that you have this expression, of course, here, and then you can use it, right? No, de repente no vas a contestar algo malísimo, ¿no? Fuera de acá, no sé, le insultas, mejor le dices, creo que estás sobrepasando, let us think, I think you're overstepping boundaries with that question. Ya hemos visto la expresión boundary, ¿te acuerdas? Boundary, frontiers, yes. Now, if you want to end the conversation completely, and you are just not interested in talking about this, then you could say, I didn't come here today to argue about our different beliefs. Yo no vine aquí para argue. ¿Qué crees que significa argue?
Para hablar, para...
No,
¿Como
argue significa discutir.
Argue.
A ver, aclaremos dos términos. En español, esto es en Spanish, tenemos las palabras discutir. Para nosotros discutir, digo, oye, mi mamá y mi papá están discutiendo. Es malo. Discutir es pelear, algo que tiene pelear hablando. Ya, en inglés, discuss significa discutir. Pero no de discutir, sino de dialogar. Y argue significa discutir algo, pero de pelear. Y de pelear no de puño, pelear hablando. ¿Se entiende? Pepito y Pepita están que se insultan. Ellos están discussing o they are arguing.
Argue.
Yes, Pepito y Pepito están discutiendo sobre la importancia del agua. They are discussing o they are arguing. Discussing. Entonces yo no vine aquí para discutir sobre nuestras creencias distintas o diferentes creencias. ¿Quieres evitar ya pelear? Entonces, well, I think I'm here to argue. I'm just here because I want to work. I need money. I need to raise my children and I'm working. So you continue with this expression. If you are not willing to change the topic, I'll leave. También. Si no estás dispuesto a cambiar el tema, me voy. Te sigue preguntando la misma persona. Hey, Gabby, you look so younger. How old are you? Maybe you want to go out with me and my friends at night? And no, you said no. You said repeat the question, like repeat the answer. I think you're overstepping, man. I'd rather not answer that. But this person continue, keep on, or keep up asking the same question, different questions. Well, you say if you're not willing to change the topic, I'll call the boss. I'll leave. I will tell Pepita, your supervisor, or whatever. I'm gonna record a video, of course, to report, and you yourself and record the video and on TikTok, and you're gonna be viral. You get it? Next. If you want to end the conversation, you're interested, we finish that one. Okay. Now we have just 5 expressions more. I wanted to include a little section for ladies out there because focus on this, Gabby. I wanted to include a little section for ladies here because let's be honest, it's mostly women who find themselves in situations where they are being spoken to inappropriately in a sexual way. Okay? So let's just get completely comfortable telling someone that it's not okay. For example, if you have a boss or a colleague and they place poner the hand on your leg during a meeting, you look them straight in the eye directamente a los ojos, and you can say, please, take your hand off my leg. If you don't feel comfortable in that moment, then find them afterwards and say, si no te sientes cómoda en ese momento, ya te agarró, and then you find it afterwards, después de eso, y le dices, I'm only going to tell you this one, keep your hands to yourself. Nobody touches my body without my permission. You see? But you need to tell, maybe someone, do this action, you need to say this, like, please take someone is like, hi, Gabby, please take your hand off my shoulder. Then maybe, hello, Gabby. Sometimes this happens, hello, Carlos, how are you today? You look like a little boy. And you say, please take your hand off my head. Okay, because nobody can touch you if you don't want to. Okay.
Yes.
And next we have, I don't appreciate being taken advantage of or made to feel uncomfortable in front of my colleagues. Aquí le dices, no quiero que te sobrepases o se aprovechen o que me hagan sentir incómodo en frente de mis colegas. Por favor, no hagas eso de eso. Please, don't do that again. Okay? So focus on this. Practice using the facial expression that I was just sharing there, because honestly, it needs the direct and serious eye contact. Si tú le dices, no, jeje, please take your hand off my leg. ¿Tú crees que va a sacar la mano? No, right? He will do it again and again and over again. So your facial expression is really important. I have had way too many female students of mine go through a situation like this. And honestly, if you have a situation that you don't understand because of cultural or language barrier, please reach me out and ask me. Okay? Maybe you are in a situation like my students. You can say, Carlos, is this okay? No, please go to this person and say, Pepito is touching my legs and I feel uncomfortable. You can record a video and then they can find him. Y lo botan o lo penalizan. Okay? But you need to say.
¿Qué sería? Language barrier, barrera.
Ajá, las barreras del idioma. Okay? Language barriers. Las barreras del idioma o las barreras culturales. Como te digo, nosotros no podemos preguntar, por ejemplo, de repente para los franceses es correcto dar doble beso en la mejilla, pero de repente para ti, ¿no? It's uncomfortable. Or not. This is cultural or language barriers. Or sometimes you don't know how to express it. Profesor, ¿cómo le digo que no me toque? Dile, I'm only going to tell you this once. Keep your hands to yourself. Nobody touched my body without my permission. So this is the reason that I write this message here. You get it?
Yes.
So we're going to stop here with this expression before we continue with the test.
Okay.
And we have just 5 expressions, but they are super simple, very simple. So controversial topics, lately we got politics, religion, sexuality, vaccinations. Maybe, did you get a second shot? You don't want to say controversial topic. Do you want to get a 4th shot? La cuarta dosis, the 4th shot? And you don't want to mention that, maybe. Family planning. Recuerda que todos los temas a veces no son de agrado de todos. Okay? These are controversial topics because people have such a vastly different polarizing opinions, and some people feel the need to push their own opinions and believe onto you, come on, we'll have a friend or family member who's like this, right? For example, I believe in Jesus, of course, but Gabby, Jesus is the best. Maybe you can change your religion. Go to my church with me. But Gabby, my religious is, I'm trying to push what? My opinion, okay, onto you. You see? Trato de implantarte mi idea, de ponerte mi idea, de cambiarte, change your mind. And you can say, I'd rather not express my opinion on these issues para evitar cualquier problema. No hablas, I'd rather not express my opinion on these issues. To be honest, this conversation is making me really uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about food. Sometimes, family, they're talking about heritage, they're talking about religious, the politic, never talk about politic in a meeting. You're going to have an argument. Oh, this isn't the time or the place to get into this discussion. De repente peleaste con alguien y quiere hablar de ese tema en plena cena. Well, you say, this isn't the time or place to get into the discussion. Y la expresión que ya conoces, we need to agree. We need to agree to disagree and move on. Move on es continuar. Necesitamos acordar que no estamos de acuerdo. Okay. 44, I understand that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Entitled, understand, everyone is entitled. ¿Qué crees que significa entitled? Entitled viene de título. ¿Any idea?
No.
¿Todos están? ¿Todos están? ¿En el derecho de qué? De tener su propia opinión. Okay? Everyone is entitled. You get it?
Right.
That everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Y la última expresión, which is why I prefer to steer clear of this topic. Steer clear es como mantenerte al margen. Steer. Mantenerse al margen. Steer clear. Son expresiones que son de uso coloquial y se usan a diario, ¿no? So you can say, well, I understand that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, which is why I prefer to steer clear of these opinions or this topic. Steer clear, mantenerse al margen, mantenerse a un lado, no opinar.
Yeah.
La última. I fundamentally disagree with you about this. Para nada estoy de acuerdo contigo. Así que le dices una expresión, no, this isn't the time or the place to get into this discussion. La familia esa en la mesa está peleando sobre algún tema en el trabajo, ¿no? Sí que las mujeres deberían hacer. Well, I fundamentally disagree with you about this. And this isn't the time or the place to get into this discussion. We are having dinner, okay? So if you don't mind, I don't want to talk about this right now. Y ya expresaste lo que has dicho y se cambia de tema. Okay? So aquí te puse también otras opciones, ¿no? It's clear we fundamentally disagree, but I'm curious to learn more about your views. Aquí le dices como que está clarísimo que no estoy de acuerdo contigo, pero estoy curioso y me gustaría saber qué opinas. Seguir escuchando tu opinión, ¿no? Es como que le buscas la discusión también. ¿Ok? Cuando le digo le buscas la discusión, no es que le buscas pelear, le buscas el diálogo. Seguir hablando. Okay? You think Inca Cola is Where Inca Cola is a soda in Peru, and you say, I think Inca Cola is tastier than Coca-Cola. Well, it's clear we fundamentally disagree about this because I think Coca-Cola is better than Inca Cola, but I'm curious to learn more about your views. I mean, I want to know your reasons. I want to know your opinion, why you think that Inca Cola is better than Coca-Cola. But I think that Coca-Cola is the best, but I just want to listen to you. You see?
Yes.
So, we're going to stop here. Te voy a mandar la evaluación con los ejercicios de todas las expresiones que hemos visto el día de hoy. Okay? And just give me a second. Where is my PDF? You have to share the screen, of course. Yep. In the chat box, you will find the link. It's not a link, it's a PDF where you can type. 1 second. It's here. Yep. You can download it. It says Wordbook Advanced Phrases for Conversation. And now you are able to share the screen. You can share your screen right now and we can like do it together. It is a PDF.
Workbook.
Yeah, the word book. Of course, empecemos. I say, well, hey there, can you remember these phrases? Okay, it's a phrase when you know something, but you can't remember at the moment.
When you know something, I can remember it's in that moment. It's only only here.
Tell me.
It's only.
It's on the. Es una expresión que se dice cuando no te acuerdas en ese momento, pero sabe la respuesta, solo que se te fue.
Yeah, on the tip of my tongue.
Exactly. Type it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it makes sense. It's on the tip of my tongue. That is the expression.
Ask permission to ask a question. I have a question. Would you mind?
Do you mind? What else?
Do you mind? Would you mind? Do you
Do
mind if? Do you mind if I jump in?
Do you mind if I jump in? Muy bien. If I jump in. ¿Qué significaba do you mind if I jump in?
¿Te importa si te interrumpo?
Exactamente. Number 3.
A phrase for when someone is speaking too fast. Will you please say that more slow?
Una expresión cuando alguien habla demasiado rápido. ¿Podrías, por favor, decir eso?
Say that. A little.
A little, ¿qué? Un poquito.
Slower.
Slower, un poquito más lento, genial. A little slower.
Say that. ¿Solo eso o me falta algo?
No, está bien, ¿podrías decir eso un poquito más lento? Sí, está normal. Recuerda que slower es más lento.
Ajá. A phrase for when you're both confused because you had a different idea about something.
I think we have got. Lo vimos, lo buscamos. Es una expresión que significa que yo te malentendí y tú me malentendiste. Que tú lo descifraste en español. ¿Te acuerdas? Que tenía que ver con cables, con algo. ¿Te acuerdas?
Wire. ¿Era?
Wired, wired cree, wired qué. Wired, wired era alambre.
Ajá.
We got wired, pero ¿qué cosa? Los alambres qué?
Cross.
Crossed, alambres cruzados. I think we have got, creo que tenemos los alambres cruzados. Quiere decir que, ¿qué cosa? Ambos nos
Cruzado,
hemos
¿no?
confundido. Yes, we have
Pero es
wired,
directo. Wire.
crossed.
Wire. Cross.
Cross dice, creo que nosotros tenemos alambres cruzados, pero ponle ed, crossed. Yes, cuando tú tienes alambres cruzados con alguien, quiere decir que ahí dice, cuando ambos están confundidos porque tuvieron diferentes ideas sobre algo, los dos nos confundimos. Yo te dije algo
Mhm.
y tú me malentendiste, luego tú me dijiste algo y yo malentendí. We have got wired cross. En number 5,
Praise for when something affects you emotionally because you can relate to it closely. This topic is there. Close. Algo de close.
is close,
Mm.
close to home. Está bien.
Is close to home. ¿Es
Ajá,
así?
exactamente. No, no, no. It's close. Hits. Recuerda que hits, golpea. Hits. Hits close to home. Hits close to home.
Hit. ¿Así?
Con la S, hits close to home. Este tema golpea cerca a casa. Quiere decir que si te golpea cerca a casa te afecta. Hay uno que es close to my heart. This topic is close to my heart. Cuando es cerca a tu corazón, es importante para ti. Por ejemplo, family.
No me acuerdo. Ajá.
Ah, ese sí, ese sí. Number 6.
A very direct phrase for when you don't want to share personal reasons with someone who is okay. I don't mean to sound rude, but that isn't. I don't remember.
But that isn't.
Sound rude, but that isn't. No me acuerdo, tal cual.
Algo con trabajo. Acuérdate que tenía que ver con el trabajo. No.
Sound rude, but that isn't.
Any
No.
ideas? That is.
Um,
Biz. Empezaba con business, ¿te acuerdas? No.
no.
That isn't any of your. That isn't any of your business. Any of your. Any of your. Cuando algo, yo digo, oye, this is not your business. Este no es tu negocio, no es de tu incumbencia, no es de tu incumbencia.
Okay. You need to stop, think about your sentence for a moment. And break it. Moment, let me try that again. Give me a moment.
Exactly, exactly.
When someone wants to talk about something that you don't want to talk about. This is that's okay. I rather.
Yeah, it is. I rather, pero I rather what?
Um,
I rather not. Yo preferiría, no recuerdo que el rather funciona así. I rather not y un verbo. I rather not. Not qué. Yo preferiría qué cosa. No,
talk.
not talk about this.
Okay. There's been a misunderstanding and you want to plan what you say. Okay. You entendiste lo que dije, ¿no? I think
Yeah, where there's been a misunderstanding.
you didn't.
I think you.
Didn't.
Mm-mm. You may have. You may have misunderstood. Tú podrías haber malentendido. You may have misunderstood. Me parece excelente que has cambiado el may por el might también. También puede ser adecuado. Might, misunderstood. Claro, misunderstood. Excelente. Pero te falta el have, el might have. Si no, podría malentendido. No, malentender, no. Podrías haber malentendido. Ajá. Puedes usar
¿Sí?
might. Está perfecto. Misunderstand.
Para eso.
Number
When
10.
you don't understand what is being said in a conversation. I have
El
to
tema es
admit,
demasiado complejo para ti. Ya no puedes hablar nada porque no entiendes, no sabes nada del tema. ¿Qué podrías decir? I have to admit this is.
mm,
Ujú. ¿Cómo dirías? No, esto ya
this,
va más de lo que sé ya. No.
this is a little beyond me.
Amazing. That is the expression. Va más allá de mis conocimientos. Ya no puedo hablar, ¿no? De astronomía. This is a little beyond me. Y con el a little beyond me, como que no, está un poquito nada más, no, pero realmente no sé nada. 11, ya nos falta poco.
We don't want to talk about the temporary agreement. This isn't the place.
This
This
is in the
is
time and the place.
time and the place. ¿Así?
Yeah, but it's okay.
When you unintentionally upset someone with something you said, I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. I didn't intend it to.
Ajá. Que significaba entenderse.
Mm,
Acuérdate, mi discurso se entendió claramente. Quiero decir, fue fácil y directo.
I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. No me acuerdo.
Come across, acuérdate el verbo come across. Tiene 3 significados: dar la impresión de entenderse y encontrar sin querer queriendo. Come across, that way, que se diera a entender de esa manera. Yeah. Okay. Ahora, save or print the phrases so you can keep them with you during English conversation and lessons. Okay. Esa es una buena idea que te estoy dando de que puedas imprimirla en hojas, no, lo que tú desees, para que te vayas a ir acordando poco a poco, ¿no? Una buena idea es comprarte esos post-its. Son esos de colores y ¡pum! Lo pegas aquí en tu esto. Y cada vez los vas viendo y por repetición aprendes. Igual te las he escrito ahí en orden y línea para que tú escribas al costado, para que te guíes, ¿no? Más que todo. ¿Puedes bajar?
Aquí están todos.
Sí, toditos, los 45.
Ahí, ok.
Ahí también te he puesto Lost in Translation, que es ¿te acuerdas que vimos dos? Que tú pensabas que era la traducción, ¿cierto? No es traducción, es cuando el significado se ve afectado y el otro, ahí están todos, Gabes. Y al final creo que he puesto las respuestas también. ¿Podrías corroborar, por favor? Sí, y
Sí.
las respuestas de las de arriba. Entonces aquí tienes el material, ¿ok? Sí, mañana tendríamos la siguiente lección. Y el día de mañana lo que vamos a hacer es lo siguiente. Yo te voy a hacer una pregunta como, Gaby, Do you want to go out tonight? I'm your boss. This is the context. Do you want to go out tonight? I think you are single. ¿Qué me dirías? Well, this is not the topic. I don't want to talk about this. ¿Me entiendes? ¿Me vas a responder con una pregunta? ¿Qué? Me vas a responder, obviamente, me vas a decir algo que tenga que ver con la pregunta que te voy a hacer. ¿Ok? Te digo, hey, Gabby,
Pero
what do you think?
usando.
Usando las preguntas que están
Ok.
allí. Y quiero ver
Ok.
cómo responderías en la vida real. ¿Ok? So we're going to
Ya.
stop here. Te voy a enviar tu lección de todas maneras en unos minutos. ¿Tienes alguna
Ya.
consulta? No questions?
No, no puedo.
1 second. We're going to stop here.